broke like a thunderbolt out of Britain on Christmas Day. A voice of the 80s had been silenced. Pop star George Michael, just 53 years old, was dead.
It's incomprehensible, actually, because he was such a vibrant, vital person. It just seems incredible.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. ABC News correspondent and veteran music journalist Chris Conley notes the irony. Michael was, after all, the man who, with his band Wham, made the song Last Christmas a classic.
It's a sad song on a joyous holiday, but you still want to hear it because it's a great song. And so it just seemed astonishing that George Michael would die on Christmas. It was inappropriately fitting.
Tonight, outside the singer's homes in London and in the village of Goring, fans are lighting candles, building memorials of cards and flowers, even tracing condolences on a dusty Range Rover. One card says, wishing you peaceful sleep and eternal harmony.
As a teen growing up, I idolised him. I'm just absolutely devastated.
Why was it important for you to come here today?
To pay our respects to the greatest singer-songwriter, a man with a huge heart, such a brave soul.
To show my respects to him. Just say goodbye.
Many had noticed his appearance in recent photos, the once slim singer appearing to some to be heavy, tired, and unhappy. Kate Coyne is an executive editor with People magazine.
In one of the last photos of George, he certainly doesn't look well. He doesn't look like the man that people remember. He appears to be rather bloated. His face is very, very round and large.
George Michael was born Yorgos Panayotou in London.
I remember it.
In a 2005 documentary, he returned to his London neighborhood with a childhood friend, Dave Austin.
This is the house that I spent. I was here from when I was a year old until I was about 12. Do you think you'll ever get a plaque? If I die, yeah, they'll put a little blue plaque on it, won't it? It'd be the nicest thing about the house.
By age 16, he and his schoolmate had already formed a band called The Executive. Then, in 1981, came Wham. That was the name of the band and the measure of its meteoric impact on the culture. The unquestioned leader of the band, composer, and of course lead singer, was the teenaged George Michael.
Good-looking guy. He's wearing these tight shorts. He's kind of campy, kind of cheesy, but it kind of fit into that 80s kind of model, and he was just seen as a sex symbol by everyone.
Our Chris Conley was there almost from the first finger-snapping, hip-shaking, defy you not to dance debut.
I was at Rolling Stone magazine in 1984, and I was told I'd be doing a phone interview with a guy named George Michael, whom I had not heard of to this point.
To prepare, he listened to a cassette tape. Remember those? A handful of songs from the album later to be known as Make It Big.
These songs were perfect. He'd written them, he'd produced them, he sung them, he played on them. They were astonishing. You could tell this band was going to be massive, and you could see George Michael was going to be massive. And that's when I thought, as for the first time I listened to these 4 songs on this cassette, this guy is going to be a huge star.
J.D. Lee Grace was a backup singer on several tours with Wham.
And it was hugely exciting right from the start because, he'd had a couple of hit records and then all of a sudden out on the road. And it was like Beatlemania. I mean, we just couldn't believe it.
I won't let you down. There were hit songs Young Guns and Freedom. But in 1984, Wham lived up to its name, punching a hole through the pop charts the world over with the single, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. Wake me up before you go go, 'cause I'm not planning on going solo.
He could do it all at a very early age, and his pop songs, even when he was 19, 20 years old, were very sophisticated songs.
Here we go! If you were alive in the 80s, Wham and its effervescent frontman George Michael made you feel a little more alive. The band made history on a world tour in 1985 that included a gig and music video in China, the first Western act ever to perform there. Michael had a first-class ticket on the fame train, including lunch with Brooke Shields. Film and music producer Martin Lewis was there.
Brooke Shields ordered a salad made of dandelion bits and some wheatgrass, and George very ostentatiously ordered a big fat roast duck with some roast potatoes and a glass of champagne. And I thought, these two are not going to get on. They're not even on the same culinary page here.
I want to talk about you and George Michael.
Yeah. Shields discussed their brief and chaste romance on the Wendy Williams show in 2011.
He was a singer, he was gorgeous, he was handsome. I was such a virgin, I had no.
Yeah.
And I had none of that he just was so, and he was such a gentleman.
Did you guys?
He didn't